In this video, we will talk about the different types of visualizations, and we'll try to categorize them into a few categories. So what are some of the categories? The first category is visualizations for comparisons. This could be static comparison, that is at one point in time, or comparison over a period of time. Then there is visualizations to show distributions of values. This is for quantitative variables. Then there's visualizations for showing relationships, again, between quantitative variables. Then there's visualizations to show compositions, parts of a whole. Again, this could be static, that is at a point in time, or over time. Then there's visualizations for showing hierarchical data. So for each of these categories, we'll see what types of visualizations are the most appropriate. For comparisons, for static, there's a column chart, especially if you have a few categories. If you have more, we use a bar chart. So you put the categories on the x-axis and the quantitative variable on the y-axis for a column chart. If you have more than one quantitative variable, we use a clustered column chart or a stacked column chart. And like I said earlier, if the number of categories is larger, we use a bar chart. So we flip the axes. When we take a column chart and flip the axes, we get a bar chart. Then you can do a stacked bar chart if you have multiple quantitative variables. We can also do a pie chart for showing comparisons for few categories. If you have two quantitative variables with different units, then we can show those using a dual axis chart. Then there's visualizations for comparisons over time, such as a line chart. You show time on the x-axis and one quantitative variable on the y-axis. You can also do a stacked line chart or a stacked 100% line chart. You can do a column chart, time on the x-axis, one quantitative variable on the y-axis. We can do a stacked column chart as well. We can also do a stacked area graph. For distributions, if you have just one variable, the box and whisker chart works the best. You can also show a column histogram or a line histogram. Then there's a stem and leaf plot that also shows distributions. If you have two variables, you can show them on a scatter plot. Three variables, you can do a 3D area chart. Then there's a special type of distribution chart called the population pyramid. You may be familiar with that. To show relationships, you can do a scatter plot if you have two variables, or a bubble chart if you have three variables. And if you have more than three variables, you can do correlation heat map. Then there's a connection map, a network diagram, and a tree diagram to show relationships. To show parts of a whole or compositions, for static purposes, we have the pie chart, the donut chart, which is a variation of the pie chart, a stacked bar chart, a stacked 100% column chart, or a tree map. If you want to show trend over time for compositions, you can do a stacked column chart, stacked 100% column chart, or an area chart, or a stacked 100% area chart. For hierarchical data, you can do a tree map or a starburst chart. So those are all the visualizations we will study. There's of course more, there's no end to it. But I just wanted to categorize them, and for each one of these, I will have a more detailed video presentation. So we'll stop here for this presentation. Thank you.